What's that, Jimmy? We got some breaking Australian economic news? They did what? This will have a huge impact on the economy. I must inform the Australian people. Hello Australia, my name's Michael and I'm going to inform you on the huge economic announcements that were made today by the Australian Prime Minister and the Treasurer Josh Frydenberg on the future of JobKeeper and the future of JobSeeker. This will have a huge impact on the Australian economy, on the share market and on property prices. Let's get into the video. The Prime Minister and Treasurer Josh Frydenberg have just announced the future of JobKeeper and JobSeeker payment. They've confirmed that JobKeeper will be extended to March 28th, but it comes with a catch. They've announced that after September, the JobKeeper payment will be reduced from $1,500 a fortnight to $1,200 a fortnight up until January. Then it'll be reduced again to $1,000 a fortnight. JobKeeper for part-time employees that were previously getting $1,500 a fortnight and were, just making it rain with a big pay rise, well, the party's over for them, unfortunately. They're only now going to be getting $750 a fortnight until January, and then it'll be dropped again to $650 a fortnight. For JobSeeker, that was previously at $1,100 a fortnight for those that were unemployed and looking for work, that has been announced that it'll be dropped to $800 a fortnight. So that's very unfortunate for those that have lost their jobs, that have been battling on $1,100 a fortnight. Now they're going to have to figure out a way to survive on $800 a fortnight. The government has said this will be put in place until the end of the year and then they'll reassess. Hopefully they'll keep it in place, and if the economic situation worsens, they may increase it again, but they haven't confirmed what they'll do after December. The Prime Minister said that the reason why he created the $1,500 a fortnight flat rate was to get money into the economy as fast as they could, and they achieved that target. But now they're going to be restricting the criteria for businesses that will be eligible for the JobKeeper payment. For businesses with a revenue or turnover up to $1 billion, they're going to have to prove that they've had a drop of revenue or turnover by 30%. And companies with turnover over $1 billion will have to prove that they've had a decline of 50%. So I assume that some businesses that don't meet these criteria, unfortunately, they're going to have to lay off more workers and put more people onto the JobSeeker payment when that has already been reduced to $800 a fortnight. This is going to really affect consumer confidence and affect spending, because if you're on JobKeeper right now and they're telling that your pay is going to be cut, you best believe all those people will be not spending money and they're going to be saving every penny they can. And this will just make the recession go for longer and go deeper. The Prime Minister has confirmed also, which is some good news but still not good enough, that those on JobSeeker, they can earn up to $300 a fortnight and still receive their payment. So they've increased the income threshold to $300 a fortnight. The extension to JobSeeker is going to cost taxpayers an extra $3.8 billion, bringing the total amount taxpayers have to pay for this new scheme to $16.8 billion since the pandemic began in March. The Prime Minister and Josh Frydenberg have also confirmed that those on JobSeeker after the 4th of August will be required to start searching for and apply for at least 4 jobs per month. And this will be looked at again after September and possibly increase the amount of jobs that they'll have to apply for. The Prime Minister has not confirmed if it will be extended after March, but says he will assess the situation closer to March because nobody knows what's going to happen next year. Things are changing by the week, by the month. Things are changing so rapidly and they just don't know what's going to happen. So they will reassess it closer to March, and if required, they said that it will possibly be extended, which is good news. But again, it will only probably be $1,000 a fortnight. I can't see them increasing it. And that still just won't be enough to boost consumer confidence and boost the economy the way they want it to. Since this health crisis began, over 600 million jobs have been lost globally. That's right, 600 million. And this scheme for JobKeeper, the extension will cost taxpayers a further $16 billion, bringing the total tax bill to $86 billion. So the Australian government, they were hoping to have a surplus this year, and unfortunately they're going into some huge deficits. Now the Reserve Bank of Australia has cut interest rates so they can borrow very cheaply, and they've even starting to admit that the government doesn't even actually have to pay off their debt, or if they can't, They just have to grow the economy faster than the interest on the debt, which is something very interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how that theory plays out. To achieve these low interest rates, the Reserve Bank has done something called yield curve control. That is where they buy government bonds, 3-year government bonds and 1 and 2 years, to drop interest rates and control the yield on those government bonds, so the governments and the banks can continue to borrow at low rates. And that's why we're seeing 3-year fixed rate mortgages drop lower than variable, because the governments can borrow at low rates on the 3-year bonds. So the markets have reacted pretty strongly to this. The ASX 200 is up 1.5%. So the stock market obviously likes it whenever there is money printing or increased government spending, because it does help the economy a bit, but it's not going to do enough to bring the Australian economy back to where it was pre this health crisis. So what I think it is good news that they have extended it after September, obviously for families. It's a bit unfortunate for us taxpayers, because unfortunately we're going to have to pay that bill, and hopefully they don't increase taxes. They're talking about possibility of bringing forward tax cuts, but we'll have to monitor that situation, and fingers crossed. I would love to some personal income tax cuts brought forward. They're talking about possibly just having a flat rate of 30 to 32 cents in the dollar, between $40 and $200,000. That would be awesome. But we'll have to monitor that situation. So my thoughts are that, as predicted, that they're going to keep kicking this can down the road even longer. I expect that if the economy hasn't recovered and we're still in bad situation in March, they will extend it to some sort. The Prime Minister seems pretty keen on lowering the amount and slowly weaning the economy off those payments, instead of a sharp cliff that was going to be in September. But I thought there's no way that they could do that, because it would have just destroyed the economy very rapidly. But who knows what's going to happen next year. But what I do know is it's not going to be a V-shaped recovery like they were all saying. They're all saying, this is just going to be quick. We'll just lock down for a month or a few. That the first and second quarter year is going to be a hit, but then there's going to be a huge growth in the third and fourth quarter of next year. But this now proves that it's going to be a prolonged recession. We don't know if it's going to lead to a depression, and we just don't know what's going to happen next year. This also means that people that were getting the $1,500 a fortnight, that's now cut. So they're not going to be able to go there and buy properties and, bid up property prices. So that's going to affect the economy there. They're also not going to be spending much. So that's going to affect companies and may affect the stock market. But it seems the fundamentals in the stock market have been destroyed by central banks printing money, and with low interest rates, seems they're happy to take that risk and bet that in the future the Australian economy will recover. So guys, I hope this has been informative. If this video brought you value, please smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. That's all I ask. I put in a lot of time for these videos for you guys to help you out, and all I ask in return is to tap that like button, subscribe for more awesome content on personal finance, savings, investing, property, economic news, how to get ahead in life, increase your wealth, and I'll see you in the next video.